Hey everyone, and welcome back to House of Mystery. Thank you so much for joining us as we continue to explore the various series of Hallmark movies and mystery. And today we are going to look at the Fixer Upper Mystery series. Now, this one may not be one that you're as familiar with because there are only 3 movies in this collection, but they are definitely worth watching. I absolutely love them, but maybe not as popular as the Garage Sale Mysteries or Aurora Tea Garden or the Hannah Swinsons because there aren't as many in the series, but you don't want to look over these cozy mysteries because, like I said, they are definitely worth a watch and may surprise you with the content and plot and even the characters that are in them. In this series, Jewel plays contractor Shannon Hughes, and Colin Ferguson plays Max Sullivan, an investigative reporter who moves to town, buys a Victorian mansion, and you guessed it, Shannon is hired to complete the renovations. He ends up living in her remodeled rental behind her house while the renovations are being completed, and so as the murders and mysteries start to occur, they begin to solve these crimes together and develop this friendship and relationship. Or we can see that a relationship is coming. They make a really great team. They are both very likable characters. I also absolutely love that I forget that Jewel is Jewel the singer in this series. She does a great job. It's not like, okay, here's this singer who's trying to act and she really can't. She meshes perfectly with that Hallmark character that we grow to love on these mystery movies. And Colin Ferguson, of course, does a fantastic job. And I talk a lot about whether characters are intrusive or unobtrusive as they are going about trying to solve the mystery and poking their nose in. And I think these characters do a really good job of not being intrusive characters. Now, in these movies, I would say that the supporting characters, I don't want to say they're acting as bad or they're not as strong in that sort of way, but just they're not as necessary, I don't think, as in other movies. These continuing supporting characters that we see in every movie. For example, in Aurora Tea Garden on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, we have Sally, her friend the reporter. In the Hannah Swinston movies, we have her mom, who is a great comic relief. You don't really have that quite as much in this series, but they definitely still work. They get the job done. They do what supporting characters are supposed to do. And so, just all around, it really works in this series. So, in the first installment of the Fixer Upper Mysteries, it was released in January 2017 and it's entitled Framed for Murder. In this mystery, Mac comes to town, he buys the Victorian mansion, he hires Shannon. I really love the meet cute in this one, where, of course, because her name is Shannon and he's been told that Shannon's the best contractor in town, he just assumes that it's a guy. So, he's looking for a guy, talking to her, and it's just a really cool way that they come about knowing one another. So, in this one, she's hired to do the renovations, but when one of her neighbors and a good friend of hers is found dead, Shannon does not believe that it is an accident, and so she sets out to find the truth. And of course, Mac kind of gets drug along to help, and being the investigative reporter, is incredibly interested in what is happening, and so he jumps along with her, and they solve this mystery. In the second film, Concrete Evidence, Shannon finds a skeleton while completing the renovations of his mansion. And this leads to an investigation that goes back 20 years. Now, this one may actually be my favorite. I do like this one. We already have the relationship between them established. They've already met each other. We don't have to worry about how he's going to fit into the picture. And so we focus on the mystery here, and I really love that. The third movie is entitled Deadly Deed. I think this is probably the last installment that we're going to have from this series simply because it was released in 2018 and we haven't heard anything about upcoming movies since. In this film, Shannon is part of a volunteer project where she is leading the charge in renovating this old house so that it can be turned into apartments for people in need of somewhere to live. The president of the bank that donated the house, though, is found dead, and given that nobody really likes him, suspects are everywhere. One thing I love about this movie, as well as really the whole series, is that I don't know who the killer is until the end or almost the end. It's not like I know 30 minutes in, oh, this is definitely the killer. They do a really good job of creating these red herrings, but they do it kind of for every character, so it's not too obvious, and I really appreciate that about the series. Now, this series is actually based on the Fixer Upper book series by Kate Carlisle. This is an 11-book series that started in 2013 with the book called A High End Finish. And I'm so happy that there may even be more books coming because the last installment actually released in 2024 and it's called The Knife Before Christmas. I absolutely love these corny titles with the quirky play on words. These titles are just one of many of the characteristics that make for a good cozy mystery series. The cornier the title, the better the book, I'm telling you. Now, I haven't actually read these books. I just bought all 11 at once so that I could have them for my collection, and I can't wait to start reading them. I have looked at the plots for the books, and from what I can tell, some of the characters and things may be different, but it is definitely the basis for this movie series. I think the second book, This Old Homicide, is the basis for Framed for Murder, and the third book, Crowned and Moldering, is the basis for Concrete Evidence. It seems that the third installment, the Deadly Deed movie, may be just kind of a mesh up and a compilation of books rather than just one book idea, but it's definitely based on the characters and settings from the books. And I will definitely let you know about these books and which one's my favorite. And if you know anything about them, please leave a comment because I cannot wait to read them. I am especially excited for, there are two different Christmas ones, and I'm really excited about those. So again, if you have not seen these movies, I definitely suggest that you check them out along with other Hallmark movie and mystery series. I have a couple more in the series, but if there's one in particular that you would love to hear about, please let me know in the comments below. And as always, let me know what your favorites are or any suggestions you have for mystery books, mystery shows, mystery movies. I am up to watch and read anything like that, and I would also love to make a video on it. Thank you again for joining us on House of Mystery, and I hope to see you next time.